Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
great to hear from you.
Same here, same here. Okay. Oh, Marisha is here. Hi, Marisha.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Happy. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you. I think we should just wait for 2, 3 minutes and then we get going. 6 o'clock is just round the corner. And I want us to do things pretty quickly. You know, we're building two today, so let's just do this quickly. Hi, Tolu. Lovely, lovely to see you
Good
here.
evening, everyone.
So we have 1 minute to go. Or should we make it 5 minutes? And then let's just give people 5 minutes. So what's happening with everyone this Friday? Any plans whatsoever? I'm stuck at home anyway, so if anybody can excite me with their own plans, that would be nice, so that I would not feel out of place. Okay. Oh, Bauer is here. Okay. Hi, Bauer.
Hi, Abby.
Yeah, lovely meeting you.
No plans. No plans. It's been raining since morning in Abuja.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I've stayed indoors. The rain has
Oh,
been quite torrential.
oh, so that to stay at home before they turn the car to a boat.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah. So we have 3 minutes to go. I'm just trying to see if other people would be joining, and then I start sharing my screen. So while we're waiting, I'll be sharing my screen now. Okay. Hi, Farida.
Hello, good evening.
Evening. Good to see you. Okay, so 1 minute to go, and then we start. I think I want to, let me see if I can hand over. Okay, yeah, I'll make you, so Damilare and Tolu, I'll make you co-host so that you can add people as, so I've done that. Yeah, so people are coming in. Okay. Okay, so it's 5. So 5 minutes past 5. Wonderful time to start. So hello, everyone. I'm actually happy that you could make up time for little me here. It's wonderful to have you all in the room. I'm Abby Abiodede, and I'm an AI trainer, and I'm also a consultant, and I build AI systems. Now, what do I do with the AI systems I build? I help business owners to cut through the overwhelm that is around AI and help them look into their business and then use those AI systems to help them cut costs, reduce time, and then also add to their bottom line. You know, when they increase their revenue and they don't have to be everywhere, they will be able to focus on strategy and relationship building. So I know that you did not sign up for another boring presentation full of theory. You're here because you want to see how AI can work for your business. So I'm just going to jump in with a very quick poll, which is just to understand what your thoughts are about what eats up your time. Is it call preps? Is it content creation? Is it following up with prospects? Or is it all of the above? So whatever it is, you can just drop it in the chat and then let's see what you're working with at this point. So are we dropping it in the chat? Damilare and Tolu, please let me know what is looking like. Just drop the comments in the chat. Is it sales call prep? Is it content creation? Is it following up with prospects that actually gets you without time at this point?
We have a number of all of the above.
So everybody is all of the above.
But
Okay.
yeah, everybody's all of the above actually.
Somebody
Yeah,
gave an
yeah.
option D.
Yeah, D is actually all of the above. So, well, I actually expected that. So it was just for me to validate what my thoughts were with what I've seen. So today you're going to see me build two. So I was saying that we're building two. And the first one is the call prep agent, which I've shared about before now. So you know those times where you would have a meeting with someone who is outside your establishment and you don't really know so much about them. So this agent will help you get those information so that you can speak with confidence based on what you already know now. And it takes you a little less time than maybe less than 30 minutes to put all this together, and you're off to the meeting, and then you're getting the customer interested in what you have to say because you've actually done your research. You didn't do the research. Your digital employee, which is the agent, did the research and gave you what you needed so that you would not scramble last minute for such meetings. Then agent number two will take your content creation from hours of work to literally minutes. So you know all those your old blog posts, your LinkedIn posts and all, it's going to turn them into weeks of social media content. And the reason why I'm building this live is so that once you see how it's being built, you can copy it, there's no guesswork, and you can run with it. Another thing is that, you know, we find out that when people watch people do things, and then you also give them, so like now I'll be sharing the prompts I use and then one of the agents with you, you can start using them immediately. So that's basically why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, I just want to touch on what AI agents are. I want you to just let me know if you've ever thought of cloning your best employee or your best colleague. So that's basically what AI agents do for you for specific tasks, and they are available 24/7. So some of you may be familiar with automation, you know, basic automation, the email autoresponders. Maybe you fill a form and you get automatic response that, okay, we'll get back to you, or your social media posting and all. So that actually works like vending machine. So you press one button and something comes out. So every time, that is how they run. They are rule-based. You must do something to get something. So they are useful, but they cannot think or adapt. Now, AI agents, on the other hand, they are different. And why do I say this? So instead of when this happens, do that, you give them a goal, and then they figure out how to achieve it. So there's a business, a small business that I work with. She runs an online boutique. So our old system will be when a customer emails, there's an automatic response, or we'll get back to you in 24 hours. But now our AI agent will respond to the client. Let's say the client asked, do you have this dress in size medium? The agent will check the inventory and then respond, yes, we have 3 in stock in medium. Would you like me to hold one for you? Here is the direct link to purchase. Even with the owner not there, sales continue, business is still flowing, and that's the power of having AI agents in your business. And it's not difficult to do at all. So how do you build something like this? It's simpler than you think. So there are 4 principles involved. So you have the instruction. Now, building an AI agent is like hiring a new staff. You definitely wouldn't throw somebody in your job without training them, giving them tools, setting expectations. That's basically what applies also with agents. So you have instructions. So when you're hiring people, you give them a clear job description. So for example, Sarah's customer service agent has been given the instruction to help customers with problems that have to do with their problems and questions that have to do with products, and that they should be friendly, it should check inventory when someone is asking for size, all those things. Then if they're asking for a refund, okay, connect them with Sarah. If you're not sure of what to say so, don't guess. Then you also equip them with a knowledge base. You're giving them training materials. Every employee would have training materials, or they go through an onboarding session. So for the agent, it's you uploading your product catalog, your return policy, your sizing chart, your FAQs, everything that a good client or a good employee has to know about your business. Those are the things you would feed the AI agent with. Then the third thing is tools and access. So you give your employees access to the systems they need. If it's email, if it's your email inventory management system, if it's your customer database, all that. So the same with agents as well. That's basically what applies. Then there are guidelines, which is now the decision framework. So you're letting them understand, okay, you can return, maybe you can approve returns under this amount, but anything higher than that, you check with me. So you set boundaries for your agents. So you decide what requires your approval. And the beautiful thing is that once you set it up, the agent works 24/7. It never calls in sick, never has a bad day. It gets consistent over time because it keeps learning from the interactions it has. Then lastly, these are some of the areas where AI agents can work for you. Retail, that's in customer service, inventory, and all. There are quite a number of them, even in payments, fraud detection and all. As you can see, there's a laundry list of things AI agents can do for you. Now, I was going to ask, this is perfect for you. These agents are perfect for you if you're a founder or a solopreneur who juggles sales calls along other things. We all are like octopuses because we have to do so many things at the same time. Then another thing is, if you're running a small team and you want to boost your output, but you don't want to hire someone else and you don't want to burn out your colleagues, then the AI agent will work best for you. Or if you're a small business owner that is working around the clock and you're finding it hard to scale, the AI agent can take care of those repetitive tasks while you focus on things that will bring your growth. Yeah, so that's there. So the practical thing today is that what we're going to build, you can use immediately, like I said. So you get to walk away with those practical systems that you can use today. Now, I know you may have been saying, oh, I've heard it all before. And you're right to actually be skeptical. But I must tell you that I've seen it work in different businesses. However, maybe your experience is that you've tried ChatGPT, you keep getting funny responses, or you have to tweak before you get what you want. We've all seen that. Or you watch a beautiful tutorial on YouTube, and then when it comes to you replicating it, it now turns out to be something else. That also happens. At times, some of the trainings you see will treat you like a tech expert. You're not. You're a business owner or a freelancer or a founder who just wants systems that work. You don't have to be a prompt engineer. Neither do you have to be a techie person. You only want your time back and you want to grow your business. Now, that's what we're going to be fixing today. I'm just going to drop this here, and then I just want you to pick one. How AI has treated you so far. Is it that you've tried it, disappointed with results, or you've heard it, you haven't used it, you're totally overwhelmed? And that overwhelm, I've heard about it a lot because quite a number of people, get to hear a lot of news every day, but you don't even know where to start. That is there. Yeah. So just drop your comments in the comment section. And I was just going to also touch on data privacy. Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, do I really need to feed my client data into AI tools? And I must tell you that's the right question to ask from the get-go. We're going to be building these systems. They're not going to be storing sensitive client data. Most of the things we're going to be using are from the public domain, so we don't need anything that is confidential to put in our systems. And an advice I would give is that if you're going to actually want to use your client's data, it has to be anonymized. And I don't even advise it. Is either you're using an enterprise grade LLM, one of the options that they have, the very high ones, where you're sure of their security, then you can try to do that. But even at that, I don't advise that anyone should put their sensitive client information into any of those tools that we have around these days. Now, what we're going to build has human oversight built in. So you're not replacing your judgment, you're only augmenting it. We will not need to throw away responsibility because we want to build a business. Because power without responsibility is total chaos. So now that we've gotten that covered, I think we should just move to building our first agent. So what our first agent will be doing for us is that every morning at 8 a.m., it will scan our calendar. And then when it scans our calendar, it will find every meeting that is booked for that day. It will check whether the person we're meeting is internal to us or external to us. Once it confirms that, then it does its research about each attendee and their company. Then it creates perfect talking points and delivers everything to us on Slack, even before our first call starts. So you wake up to perfect notes for each and every meeting you have, and it's zero work from you. So let's just build this. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now so that you see what I'm building. So the tool we're going to be using this time around is Zapier. So this is Zapier. This is how the platform looks. And so if you go to their homepage, let me say I log out now. Then, so this is how it is. So you can start for free. So if you click on start free with email or Google, I think you get like 7 days. So you can try it out and see if it's something that really works for you. But I must assure you that it's one of the simplest ones to use as a beginner. So you can do that. So let me just log on and then show you. So this is the dashboard where you would get to the agent side. So on the left-hand side here, you can see the agent tab, which we would click. So once we click it, it brings us to the dashboard where we will be building. So this is where we will be building. You've seen the ones I have built before now. I have quite a number of them that does different things for my business. So now for us to start, we can either click here or we click here. So I'll be clicking here, and you can see that Zapier even already has some templates which we can follow if we want to build, without having to think too much about it. You can pick a template and then tweak it to your own need. That is there. And then they also have this option where if you want to build a custom agent, you describe what you want the agent to do, and then they will convert your instruction into a prompt for the agent. However, I'm not going to do that today because I already have my instructions that I want to give the agent. So I'm just going to skip this so that we go straight to the page. So this is a blank Zapier page for agents. So you can see that the agent is untitled, and then every other thing is here. So this is where we would configure the instructions for the agent. And then after building, we would have here, this is the site where we would be checking the activity of the agent. So for every time it runs, for every operations it does, we check them here. Now, we'll go back here to start our work. So first, I'm going to name the agent. I like to christen my agents with human names. So let's call this agent Katie, but I'm going to put sales call prep in front of it. So we've named Katie. Now, the first thing we're going to do is to add a trigger. So what is a trigger? A trigger is actually an event that sets off every action your agent takes. So every time, it's just like saying, when something happens, then carry out these different tasks. I don't care how you do it, but make sure that all these other things are done. So that's what a trigger is. It's an event that sets off a series of actions from your agents. So in this case, because we said that Katie would look through our calendar to find out which meetings we have, we would use our calendar as our trigger normally. However, because we set a time, we said every 8 o'clock, we said every morning by 8 o'clock is what we wanted to use. We would now say, we would now use a schedule. That's what I was going to use. That was the word I was looking for. So we're going to use a schedule because we want it to go to our calendar at 8 a.m. every morning to pick our meetings for the day. So here, Zapier already has a tool called Schedule that you can use to pick the exact time you want the agent to get to work. So if Schedule wasn't here among the list of things that are listed here, you would just need to type in the search bar Schedule, and then you have it pop up. But because it is here now, I can click this. Then if it is on demand, what this on demand means is every time you just want it to keep going. It's every time the event occurs, it should just start work. So that's what on demand is. On demand is something very what would I call it? It's continuous. Whereas this, or what would I call it? It's dynamic. Then the Schedule by Zapier is more of a very static, as in it's time bound. It has to happen at a particular time for the agent to kick into action. So here we're going to pick Schedule by Zapier. Now, once we picked Schedule by Zapier, we need to pick the exact frequency. And you know, because we said we want it to happen every day, we'll click on every day and then set a time. So here is where we will set the time. So we've already said 8 a.m. every day. Go to our calendar and pick the meetings. So I'll select 8 a.m. and then I would save. Once I save this, our trigger is set. Now we have to put in the instructions. Because I know that we have quite a lot, to do today, I prepared the instruction, which I'm going to walk each and every one of us through today. Yeah. So I'm just going to paste this here, and then we will start this. If you noticed, immediately we put the instruction here. Did you see that the agent came to life? So if I pick this and I clean it out, the agent will go off again. So for it to work, you must place an instruction. So there are two things that are very important to this agent: the trigger and the instruction. Now, what's the instruction? Your instruction is like saying a prompt, what you want the agent to do. is what the instruction is. So here I have given it a role. I said you are a sales call prep agent for Code-Free IQ. That's my company. And you produce a consultative briefing before each external sales meeting. Now I gave it the steps which I wanted to carry out. So it's basically what we've explained before. It will pull the day's meetings from my Google Calendar. Now, because I've named Google Calendar here, it means that I need to add my Google Calendar to this mix for it to work. So how do I connect my Google Calendar to this agent? I come to these Add Tools if I want to. So I can either pick it here or I put some spaces here. So what I will do is I'll put a space here, I put another space here. And then in the middle of this space, I would use this backward slash and then Add Tools will come up. So I don't have to always go here. Once I put the slash there, it brings up this menu. So I click on Add Tools and then I select my Google Calendar. Now I could also type in here, Zapier is connected to over 7,000 apps. So most of the apps that you get to use on your daily basis, you get to have them here. Now I click on this. Once I click on this tool, which is Google Calendar, I need to find events, because we said it should go and sweep for the meetings, and our meetings are classified as events. So I would pick Find Events. Once I do that, so the tool is there, the action is there, but I need to still set some parameters. So I need to use this gear icon here. So I come to the gear icon. The reason why I'm coming here is because most of us tend to have multiple accounts, multiple Google accounts, and then some of us also have multiple calendars in our accounts. So here I have multiple calendars, so I don't want the agent to be the one to do the work for me in terms of selecting the calendar to go and sweep. So I wanted to pick a particular one. So I'm going to set a specific value, meaning I want to give it a particular calendar to go and sweep. Here, this is the one I wanted to sweep. So I have selected that. And once I select that, I don't need to do any other thing here. I just save. Now we go on to the next instruction. We said it should ignore events marked personal or those where all the attendees share my company's domain. So if it's an internal person, I definitely already have my ways of knowing who the person is. I don't need to do a research on that. Now, for each external meetings, I've given it what I want it to do. So first, I want it to identify the external participants, and it should research each company involved using public web sources. We've mentioned that we'll be getting information from the public domain. So how do I want it to do that? I need to connect a tool here as well so that it can get to do what I want it to do. So I use a backward slash again, and then I use my Google search tool here. So once I click on that, it already understands that it's going to research using the Google search tool and that it should capture relevant data. Now, I also told it that it should consult our FAQ, the Code-Free IQ FAQ knowledge file. It should visit our website. It should consult this. The reason why I wanted to do that is to understand our AI and automation offerings. So how will we get it to pick our file? Our file is stored up in the Google Drive. So we're going to give it that as well. So I'm going to put the backward slash here again. And then we'll go in here and then we select Google Drive. Once I select the Google Drive, I go to find a file. Now that I've selected the tool and the action, I need to go in here to select. So I'm going to put a specific value there. Now, why do I want to do this? It's possible that the agent will go and check it itself. It can do that, but at times I just like to be clear on my instructions. So I think I'll just put mine here. So I'm just going to put it here. But without this, now I want to try something. Pardon my what's the word? My my I can't find the word, but just pardon my curiosity at this point. I'm just going to leave this like this, and then I'm going to save, and then we'll see if the agent will get this document. Now, it will visit our website. So I'm going to use the visit. So there's a tool here called Visit Website. I'm also going to connect it there so that it can go and search. Now, I'm also going to put my Google search, but because we've put it here, it already has it. So it can always pull from this. I don't need to put Google search tool again. Once you have it once, you have it. So it's already stated here. It will do its job when it needs to do it. So now, after doing that, I said it should use the information. Let me put this down so it will be clearer. Use this information when crafting the value proposition section below. So it's still going to craft some things for us, which is what is below. So you'd see that here, I told it to compile a pre-sale call dossier. So that's like having like a memo that has all the information about our customer or prospect we're going to meet. And the first thing I want you to capture is an executive snapshot. The snapshot will consist of the leadership, the names, the roles, and the background of whoever it is that owns the company, and that you should pull it from public data. Now, I stated that if the information is not available, you should state it there. And that's because I don't want it hallucinating. I want it to give me what is available. Then the company overview, their industry, what services do they provide, what is their competitive landscape, and who do they serve, who are their clients. Then from this information, I asked that you should also find out what their business goals are based on public data. So to check industry reports, to check their press releases and all. And then from there is able to also find out what their pain points are. And the pain points I'm asking you to highlight are those that align with the services Code-Free IQ provides. Now, how will you find that? I told you that you should use industry benchmark. You should look for lookalikes. That's the people, their competitors in the industry, what those ones' pain points are. And then is able to, put something together that would also mean something to prospect. Then I told it to also find our value proposition match. So that's a table matching our services to the prospect's need. So, and I referred him back to our knowledge file, which we've already attached here. Now, I wanted it to give me a one-liner to describe a clear benefit that Code-Free IQ can provide to the customer. So that is there. Now, I then said you should come up with an agenda, just a structure for the meeting, and you should put together objections and responses as well. So give me 2-3 likely objections that could occur, and then give me the handlers, how I can respond, drawing from evidence that you have in my knowledge file, the one I fed you with, the FAQs. And then send the full dossier to a designated Slack channel. So you know that we need to connect our Slack channel here. So for everywhere you're mentioning it to, you are connecting that to so that you make it easy for the agent to do its work. So I come here and I look for Slack. And what we're going to choose, the action we're going to choose is send channel message. So here I click on send channel message. And then I use the gear icon again. The reason is because most of us have multiple channels and we would want to be protective of whatever data we're putting out there. So maybe there's a specific channel you would want the message to go to. So I'm going to set a specific channel. And here is where I'm going to select it. I have a sales prep one that I created. Sales prep should be somewhere here. Okay, yes, see here. So I have that. Once I select those two, I'm good to go. I don't need to choose any other thing. I save. Now, once I save that, I come here and I said, send it to me as a message or a file attachment. Do not attach our knowledge file to the information sent to Slack. Just reference it. The reason why I put this was because when I was testing it, when I did it because I created it sometimes last year. And I noticed that for every time it sends me a report, it will give me that my FAQs as an attachment. And I felt that wasn't needed. So that's one of the failures. You know, you find out those problems and then you try to put things in place so that it will not make the mistake. So what I'm just trying to let you know is that it won't be perfect the first time. You would have to make some tweaks to make sure that it works to your own advantage. So then I mentioned that once it sends the report, it should log the interaction in a spreadsheet. So I have a spreadsheet prepared here, which I use for this. So it will put the timestamp and all that, and then it would let me know when the dossier has been sent. So once I do that, so which means I need to connect my Google Sheet here. Now I come here, and then I select Google Sheets, and then I go to create spreadsheet rule. And that's for it to create that record every time it sends the report. Now we come here. I hope you saw me pick the gear icon again. So it's a gear icon that brought us here. I would, once I click on set this, it changes to my Google Drive. And then here I will pick the spreadsheet, which I just showed you. So I come here and then I set a specific value. And then I see my sales call log there. And then the worksheet as well. So sheet 1. And that's all I get to pick here. And then I save. Once I do all that, I am done. And then I also stated that I wanted it to maintain a professional tone when sending the report. You should use bullet points, not long paragraphs, so that, because I want it to be easy to read for anyone using it. And then it should personalize, excuse me. And then I said, if any, I mentioned this earlier, but I'm reiterating it, that if data is missing or incomplete, you should flag the sections where the data is missing. And you should not fabricate any insights or guess. If research doesn't give it results, you should suggest that we follow up manually. So it will be one of the questions we're going to ask when we're having our meeting. And I mentioned this again, if no external party are found, skip the dossier. And that you should only use publicly available information and the provided knowledge file. You should not share personal or confidential data, and should not disclose that it's an AI or data was retrieved automatically, because at times they give such information which is not needed. So now that we've given it all this, we're going to test the agent. So before that, I had created a meeting here so that we could use that to test. So with this, it will come and sweep my calendar for this meeting. So I go back here and then I click on test, and then we see it's working. So it's also going to walk us through the steps it takes. It's checking the calendar. And once it finishes, it lets us know. So it has found the meeting that I showed you just now. So every time, so if you want to check what the results of the search, you would see it here. So you see that. So you can check here as well to see the details of the research it did. But it's going to give you a comprehensive result. So you may not need to do that, but it's just for you to know more about the agent you're working with and what it can do. So now it's reviewing our FAQs. So can you see that it actually found the file? Initially I wanted to put in the file name, but I decided against it. So it found the file itself. So it's compiling it. Now, something I need to mention. So when you're building the agent and you're testing, it will always ask you for approval before sending the report. But once you turn it on, it will send the approval. It will send the report to you where you have stated that you send it to, except you put it in the body of the mail. I mean, the body of the instruction that it should ask for your approval. If you don't expressly state it, it starts doing the work immediately. So the responsibility is on whoever is building to put that in place. So this is what it came up with. So this is a dossier, a background, everything, you know, put together, a pinpoint, a value proposition match, and all. And now that it has come up with this, it's asking us that it wants to send it to our Slack. Are you okay with it? So does it look good? Is there anything you want to change? So it will ask you all these questions, and then we approve. Now it starts the action of sending it to our Slack. I'm sure you heard the Slack sound, so I'm just going to open the exact place it sent it to. So this is it today at 5:45. As you can see just now, it has sent us the dossier about the meeting we're about to have. And this is how I have received it for almost a year now. I get this report every day. It's never failed. And I'm able to look through and see, okay, this is the person I'm meeting. And then I'm able to, you know, fine tune what it has given me for me to be best prepared for the meeting. So now the next thing it's going to do is to do the, you know, populate the log. So it's doing that already. It has done that as well. So if we check our log here, we will see that it has populated it, and we can see the time. So it's using UTC time here. But this time is incorrect. But basically, this was what it just generated for us right now. And so that's that about that. So now, if we want to turn it on, now that it has finished its work, we toggle this button. But once we toggle this button, every day, like clockwork, we get this report. It sweeps our calendar, and then it checks what we have. So once we do this, we are home and dry based on that particular task. You don't need to do too much or start doing your research when you already have someone doing that for you. That's like having your PA in place. So now that we've done that, what we're going to next is the content creation engine, which I'm going to build also now. So this is on. We want to go back. We go back through here. If we don't want to go back, we click this and then we start the next one. So if you want to check all the activities the agent has carried out, like I said, you get to know it here. So you can click on this and then it will show you a report of what it had done before. And that's just for you to have an idea of what has happened. So now let's go to the second one, which is the content creation engine, the content repurposing engine, apologies. So you can see that we still have this here. So I'm not going to explain this because we've talked about it before. I'm just going to skip this step. And then I'm going to explain how this works again. So now I'm just going to name it. So let me just put it as content. Content, what should I call it now? Well, let's just put something there. So content neon. And then, so we have a name for it. And the reason why I name my agents is so that I have a clear, it gives it a personality one. And then it also let me understand what it's doing for me at a particular time. So trigger, in this case, what we said was that it will pick an old post whether LinkedIn or blog post or something, and then it will repurpose it into content for other platforms. That's what we have said this agent will do. So what this means is that our trigger, which is supposed to be an event that sets off the agent's action, would be that post. Now I've stored the post. I've stored several posts on this Google Sheets. So there are quite a number of them that I stored here. So what this means is that for every time I add one new post here, I expect that this agent will go pick that particular post, analyze it, and repurpose it. Then it will send me a notification that it has prepared those repurposed content. I would review them, I would approve them, and then it will post them to the different platforms. So the human in the loop is not overlooked. It is still there. So in this case, what our trigger would be the Google Sheets, that I showed right now. So now I already have Google Sheet here. So I'm just going to pick this quickly. And then I'm going to pick new spreadsheet row. Now it's asking me for the value. I'm going to pick my content system. And then I'm going to pick the worksheet, which is old LinkedIn post. So once I do that, I'll put my instructions, which I prepared earlier. I'll be sharing one of them with you so that you can get to build yours, because the beauty about this for me is not just about me being the one who knows it, but you also being able to build this out yourself and see how it works for you. So now I've put that here. As you can see, this has come alive because it has its instructions to go. And what are we saying here? That it's an experienced content creator and strategist. It repurposes LinkedIn posts for other social media platforms using the provided tone of voice guide and sample post as your reference. So now, if you can see, I already have this already indicates that a document has to be shared with it. I said, I changed this earlier, but apparently I didn't change it here. So my document is called Tone of Voice Guide, and I stored it up in my Google Drive. So I'm just going to go into my Google Drive, add tools, and then here, I'm just going to find the file, and I get to open this, and the agent will do the work. I don't need to do anything here. It can generate a value because it will look for the exact match for that particular word. So that is there. And then I gave it examples of what I expect in terms of language. So voice, tone, and then personality, the words you should use, the words you shouldn't use. I put that here as well. Then here, and I had sample post for reference so that I could look at the way I write, and it can remain on brand. I don't want it to go outside my brand. So I gave it my newsletter sample. I gave it my Instagram sample, 2 Instagram samples, Facebook sample, LinkedIn sample. Time is not creating a LinkedIn post for me at this time, but I put that there just for you to have this. And then my Pinterest sample. And then I now gave it the instructions here that when it receives a LinkedIn post, it should analyze it. It should reference the sample post for style and structure inspiration. It should create optimized versions that match the established voice that I've already, the way I write. Basically, that's what it's saying here. And I put Instagram. So I come here in the usual way. I use my backward slash, and then I select my Instagram account. So I type in Instagram here. And then I click on publish. Now that I've clicked on publish, I click on this gear icon. Because I have two accounts, 2 Instagram accounts, I need to pick the one I wanted to work on. So this is the one I wanted to go with. So I don't need to pick any other thing here. I save and it does its work. So the same thing for Facebook. I come here and I select my Facebook account, Facebook pages, and then I'm creating a page post. Once I do that, I click on this gear icon. I have to select the page I want it to work in. And the strange thing about Facebook is that for you to set this one, you need to use a page ID. So I come to my Facebook here. How do you get your page ID? You come to your About section here. When you click your About section, you see page transparency somewhere here, page transparency. Once you click on it, this is your page ID. You copy this, and then you go back here, and then you paste it. Once you paste it, you click on this plus sign, and it adds it up. So those are the two things you're doing. That's all. And then you save it. Then for the newsletter, I just started using MailerLite. So I come here, and I pick MailerLite. Right, this is my MailerLite. Now, I'm going to select Send Campaign, send a campaign. So that's the action I want it to take. I click on that, and then I click on the gear icon. So for this, you're expected to choose the campaign name that you have created before. So this is my campaign name. And then there's something also they expect you to do, that's a MailerLite, because each platform has their different rules. You should put your name there, and then the verified email address of their platform. So Substack might not need that from you, but that's just because I'm using MailerLite at this point. So I'm just going to put the email address that is recognized by the platform. And then I get to pick the subscriber group. So you might have different groups that you send newsletters to. I have different groups. So that's why I am. So you can see there are quite a number of groups here. So this is the one I want it to send stuff to. So that is there. Then Pinterest, which is the last one. I'll come here as well and set for Pinterest. Once I select Pinterest, I click on Create Theme. And then I go into the gearbox again. And then I click the board I wanted to put into. So I have two of them. So I pick that. Once I pick the name of my board, I save. And then I have given it its approval workflow. Prepare all content versions using brand voice. Send to Slack for approval before posting. Wait for human approval or rejection. Only post after receiving approval. And this is how I want you to send the report to me, the notification to me. And then these are the checks I want you to do for brand consistency. And then this is what it should expect in terms of my response for approval or rejection. And then it should auto reject if the content mentions a client's name, if it contains confidential information or controversial topics. And after posting, it should send confirmations with post link to by Slack. Once it does all this, we are home and ready to go. But here I need to attach the Slack so that it will know where it is going at this point. So what happens is once you don't put it, it doesn't inform you that you haven't put it. So it's on you to make sure that you have put everything that needs to be covered there. So here, I'm going to pick this as well. So there are two ways you could also do this. You can decide that OpenAI should do the repurposing for you before the AI agent sends it. And it will do that bit for you. So now that we've selected this, we could come here. Where is that place where we're doing the repurposing? Okay, here. So we could say create optimized versions with, so let's say we want to add OpenAI to the mix. We just come here and use the slash, and then we pick add tools, and then OpenAI. So here, once we pick OpenAI, we'll come to conversations. Where is it again? That's the legacy one. Okay, yeah, this is the one. So because I already have my accounts connected here. That's why it's easy for me to just do this thing. So you can see that my names are there. But if you've not connected to any of these tools before, what you need to do is to connect new accounts. For each of those tools, you will see this connect new account option, which will help you connect your apps to the agent. Yeah, so for whichever one you want to do, you'll do that there. And then once I've put my stuff here, you can decide to pick use default, or you can let the agent decide. And then all you need to do is to just save. And then here, I also mentioned that if there is no predefined image, it should use ChatGPT. So it would use DALL-E to create the so this is here. Okay, so here we pick generate image. So we put that there. We don't need to put any prompts. The agent will create the prompt. So that's basically everything we need to do at this point. Now we need to test our agent. We've given it all the information it needs and the tools. So we test. So it's analyzing the post. So can you see that it has called on ChatGPT to go and prepare the post to do the repurposing? So it has prepared an instruction for it and has given it what it should do. So it's asking me if this is okay for it to, as in, is this instruction okay? That's basically what it's asking. So now I approve. So now ChatGPT is going to create. So this has been done. We look through here, we will see it's created this already, different posts, but this is in JSON. This is not how you would look at it. It would send it, you would see it in a very clear, once it finishes now, you'd see it in a proper structure. And then I hope people can still hear me.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that. So now it has done the one for the different platforms and is asking me for approval as usual. So now I'm just going to approve. So like I mentioned, it's only because we're testing that it's asking me for approval. Normally, once you turn it on, it wouldn't ask you except you expressly state, like we did in this particular one. You know, the first one, we told it to send us the report, so which was a way of it confirming to us anyway. So if we did not ask it, it will just send it straight up. So like clockwork, it will send the post out as you have stated. So it's preparing the repurposed content for our approval in Slack now. So once it notifies us in Slack, we come here, we do the approval, we just write approve, and then it sends. But that's after you have reviewed, tweaked it to be sure that it's on brand, and then it can go out. Okay, so now it has sent us the different versions. So if we check our Slack, once we approve, we will see it. So it's sending it to our Slack now. Okay, so we can hear the Slack messaging. So we'll go to general, which was where it sent it to. As you can see, 6:05 was when it sent it. It has sent us the report. So now we go back here. So if we've reviewed it and all, we can just click. We just type approve here. And then it starts posting to the different platforms. So approval received, now posting to the different platforms. So now it has shown us what it wants to send to our, we can see. So if I approve this now, and I go and check my Instagram, once it does the post, you will see it there. So this is my Instagram. Let me refresh. So this is a new post, if I'm not mistaken, 25 seconds ago, he sent this, just 25 seconds. So that first one is here. Now this is the one for Facebook. So now I need to approve it. If I say not quite right, or I say something else, it would not send it. It will do the rework. And then, so it gives room for you to tweak and make changes before, it goes ahead with your instruction. So this is done as well, our Facebook. So if we come to post and then I do a refresh, just now, can you see that? Just now, this was done. So now let's go back and see what does with Miller Lite. So it says Instagram and Facebook is live. So this is Miller Lite. If I approve this, if I go into Miller Lite, I'll see it in my outbox because it wouldn't send immediately. It will still tell me, okay, you could review, or I'll just send it without review. So it leaves it there for some seconds. I mean, Miller Lite, because the post still has to go out through Miller Lite, the newsletter. I mean. So this is done. So if we go to Mailer Lite and I go to campaign, can you see this? Created a few seconds ago. We'll be sending soon, as you can see. So that is there. So if we approve this last one for Pinterest, so as many platforms or channels you want to send it to, it's always there to send it. It will send, as in, it will just send all your repurposed content to your preferred platforms, regardless of the number. So far you connect them there, you will see them there. So I have 2 pins. This must be this is the latest one. So we have this here, what it just did for us. So now it's asking us for approval to send the report to our Slack. Can you see how it has compiled everything? If we send to our Slack now, we will receive a report. And it doesn't have to be Slack. That's something I was also going to say. It could be your Teams, it could be any of your preferred platforms where you want to receive the notification. It will send you the report, and then you will be able to go on with it. So now that we finished that, we can just toggle it on, and then we are good to go. Now, every month, they give you a free plan of 400 activities. Zapier gives you that for free for you to build agents. So you can try this out without it costing you anything. So that's why I actually chose this platform, and the fact that it's very beginner friendly. So it's a good place to start while you now progress to other ones if you want to. So what have we been able to achieve today? We have been able to build 2 AI agents, one sales call prep machine, and then a content repurposing or a content multiplication engine. So that the first one will save you 30 to 45 minutes per call. Let's say you have 10 calls per week. You're definitely saving about, maybe about 4 hours per week. Yeah, if we look at it that way. Then the content multiplication one, if it takes you 4 to 6 hours to do all those content, you definitely, that means 4 plus 6 is what, 10 hours saved per week. And if you have your hourly rate maybe at, I don't know what your hourly rate will be, just consider multiplying your hourly rate by the number of hours you've saved. What is that worth to you? But the truth is that we've only scratched the surface. These are just 2 systems. Imagine that you have about 6 to 10 systems working in your organization, and you have time to focus on strategy and other things. So I know some of you are thinking that this looks great, but can I actually do this? But the truth is, if you want to, you will. And the return on investment you will gain, not just in time, but also in money, will be so much, especially as a business owner. You need all the help you can get. So with systems like this, the sky is your starting point. How many webinars have you attended that you actually watched, but you thought you were going to try it, but you never did? So that's why I'm going to give you an action plan. So the action plan is for you to do one of this, just one. You don't need to do so many. Do one. You'll be going home with an assistant or an AI agent, one of these 2 that we created today, and I want you to create it yourself. So when you create it, you test it with your real examples, and then you're able to refine it to your specific need. And then you can scale it up. So it's not about being perfect. It's about you trying it out, building it, using it, and then refining it. If you have questions, I'm here to help. You can always reach out to me via email. Now, what we've built today is the tip of the iceberg. If 2 agents can do this for you, imagine what others can do. So which brings me to something very special. So I have come up with an AI business lab, which is for small businesses, freelancers, consultants, coaches, and all, for you to be able to save quite a number of things: your time, your revenue, your life, because it also trickles down to your personal productivity. Imagine you having a complete group of AI systems running your business, sales, that's your lead generation, your lead qualification while you're sleeping. I'm sure you saw some of the agents I put out on LinkedIn. that I built that when clients make inquiries, they're the ones responding, they're the ones calling the clients or the prospect to qualify them before booking a meeting with me, managing my inbox, doing all those things for me. That's one side. And then you're also able to maintain those relationships you have with your clients. That is there. When your clients have issues, the customer service one is there to also help you. So being able to build this, and I have at least 25 ready to use agents available for you in this program. We will build these things together. And if you say, okay, you just want to build some and then use the ones we've built, they are there for you to just clone and start using. So you have that available for you. You also have over 25 videos, step-by-step videos that you would watch and you would never get stuck. Aside that, every week for the next 4 weeks, experts, AI experts will come and do live build sessions with you every week for 90 minutes. So as I'm picking the tool, you're picking the tool, and I'm not the one doing it. My other colleagues in the industry who are AI experts will be the ones taking you. So we'll deal with different things within your business. So you leave the program ready to tackle the world based on what you have been taught, because you have the systems already working for you from week one. Then you have the playbooks, you have the prompts, you have quite a number of things. Then you have your one-on-one strategy session with me so that I can also help you in terms of your business. And there's also one thing, because I don't want you taking tools everywhere, there's the ROI calculator that would help you ensure that every system you build pays for itself. You are checking before you're making any subscription if this tool will work for you, if it will not work for you. Then there's also the workflow audit tool that will help you analyze your process flow to check where AI will play a better part for you in there. So all this and more is what we have for you. As you can see on the screen, these are the things you will be getting. And the first cohort, the price has been ridiculously reduced for you. It's £495. And this special pricing will end on the 31st of August, before the regular one kicks in. We're starting the cohort on the 18th of September. So if you're ready to transform how your business is, if you're tired of being overwhelmed, waking up, trying to figure things out on your own, then you have that way. Then you will definitely have the community. The community where you can ask your questions will be there to help you walk this path. So it's a joint venture between myself and you, but we'll definitely achieve great results together. But listen, this is not for everybody. Like I said, if you're not ready to put in the work, at least 90 minutes per week for the next 4 weeks. If you just want to learn theory, this is in for you. But if you want to gain your time back and add at least £10,000 in revenue to your business, then this is exactly what you need. So if you have questions, please let me know. I'm ready to answer them. If not, reach out to me on LinkedIn, visit the website, book your enrollment, as in enroll for the program, and then we'll see on the other side. So that's basically all I have for you this evening. My question to you, which is the last question I have at this point, is that what are you going to do with everything you have learned today? Are you going to use it or you're not going to use it? So that's it from me. If there are questions, I'm here to answer them, and then we can take it away. Yes, Farida, there is a step-by-step guide that I can share for you to do that. Yeah. Any other question from anybody? So don't forget, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and all. Just reach out to me. You can also send me an email and I'll be ready to respond. So thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Yeah. All right. So take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Bye for now.
Thank you, Abby. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. I was late. Is there going to be a recording? I'm really sorry I was late to this session.
Oh, there isn't going to be, but what I will do is I'll put together a transcript just for you to have an idea of what it
All
is.
right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I'm sorry to have been late.
No, it's fine.
Events overtook me. Thank you very much.
It happens all the time. It's fine.
All right. Thank you. All right.
you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.